Hello everyone and welcome to a new video from Your Overwatch. I'm Eddie the Chump and today we'll be talking about the amusing things that we tell ourselves and our matchmaking teammates when things aren't exactly going our way. By no means is this list meant to be taken in a super serious way. It's just a bit of fun for us all to admit the creative ways in which we lie to ourselves. So everyone get your Jimmy Russell guards on and let's have some fun. I've got gold medals. Now I've made multiple videos about, how do I put this, the incredibly misleading medal system. The medals almost don't mean anything, and especially if your comp isn't working, it by no means explains what's going wrong. Maybe you're playing Rein and have gold damage. Well, don't forget his pin deals 300 damage and his hammer swings for 75 in a massive cleave. If you're fighting all the time and hitting multiple targets with your massive swinging gold hammer, you're bound to be doing massive amounts of damage. Let's just say you do one swing and hit 3 people. That's 3 lots of 75. A McCree in his comparative pea shooter has to play out of his tiny little mind to even get close, and that was with just one swing. A lot of characters can actually easily get the most overall team damage if they fight the most, and a big tank like Rein could have the benefit of having Ana pocket him with heals, nades, and nano boosts. I mean, when Rein gets nanoed, he literally says, "I'm invincible." That should tell you something. I mean, in part it's not our fault. The damage stat still includes damage to shields and barriers, which is insane. If you're a Roadhog massacring an enemy's Rein shield, you're very likely to be up there in the medal table. That damage to shield fact alone should tell you how little a medal can actually mean. It's not just tanks though. Listen, I'm not above admitting I've had games with McCree where most of my damage stat has come from the enemy Rein shield, and my accuracy percentage. Fanning the hammer into the big red rectangle over and over might get me a medal, but if it's all that I'm doing, and I do admit there's been multiple times where I'm not doing much else, then I'm not playing well and shouldn't use a medal to defend my poor play. Gold limbs is also a great one for this. I've been in matches where the comp obviously isn't working, we're getting rolled, and in the scramble to figure out what's going wrong, someone will say, "It's not me, I have gold limbs." Gold limbs with like 4. Your team is spawn trapped, you're getting embarrassed, but Hanzo over here has hit 3 scatter arrows and holds up the gold medal of memery in defense of himself. I've been that Hanzo, we've all been that Hanzo. Also, by the way, you share a limbs most of the time. Winston is a big culprit for this. He just has to look at people and he'll get in a limb. Plus he can be virtually anywhere he wants, attacking people with his beam of harsh language and fairy dust, and be rewarded with an limb. I'm just saying it's very misleading. Also, I'm a Zen player, and I just want to say, we Zen players have had it far too easy for too long when it comes to boasting about a limb medals. He's a DPS basically, come on. We're big enough to admit that. 120 damage with a headshot to a discorded target and a clip size of 20? 20, I tell you! McCree does a fraction more damage to the head and has to reload every 6 bullets. A Zen having a lot of limbs shouldn't come as a massive surprise and isn't a defense of your own play or condemnation of somebody else's. I'm not getting healed. This is an absolute classic, and healers everywhere will roll their eyes whenever a teammate says this. I'm not saying it's never the healer playing badly, it certainly can be. I've done that. I've tunnel visioned and not healed people standing right next to me, but it's far from the most common explanation. As Sim has become ever more popular, it's not that uncommon to see only one genuine healer on defense. The way around that is to typically take heroes that can heal themselves as well, Soldier, Roadhog, even a Mei. But when that doesn't happen and your comp isn't best suited to it, then just one person doing that entire job can lead to disaster. If you couple that with playing in a way that no amount of healing can solve, such as peeking past your shielding or going on too many mad flanks, then you can doom yourself quite easily. Blue barriers are your friends. If you try and Chuck Norris everything, your healer will cry tears of liquid salt. The thing is, if you're playing a squishy hero, playing out of position cannot look as obvious as a Rein Leroy Jenkinsing into the enemy line from miles away with no possible hope of support, but it's just as common in matchmaking. If you're on the top left ledge of Numbani and on your own, or as we like to call it, the "I'm sick" position, you can get very easily isolated and eliminated before your supports even have time to pump any heals into you. Therein lies the problem. Healers can only do so much, and there's usually only a maximum of 2 on any team. 2 healers and 4 teammates to heal, while also trying to stay alive long enough to do their job. It's not easy. We need more damage. Now to quickly throw my DPS playing friends a bone. Sometimes we find ourselves in games where nothing is dying and almost immediately the Eye of Sauron falls on our teammates that have elected to play that role. "It's your fault, McCree. Why can you not kill this pharmacy all on your own?" But in truth, it's almost always a focus fire problem. If your comp has like 3 DPS and a Roadhog using his fat face as a main tank, then the comp is likely so dysfunctional that nobody can stay alive long enough to do any meaningful damage. The answer isn't for the other roles to switch off so we have no tanks or no healers. It's a problem of everyone ISO dueling too much. Matchmaking can feel a little bit deathmatchy at times, which is fine if the other team are doing that too. But if they're not, if they're isolating and eliminating things with purpose, then no amount of damage from a single player will solve that. It'll take genuine focus fire to overcome, and that's everybody's fault, not just your Genji's. My Q button broke. This one seems like a joke, and it is, kind of. This has actually been said in an almost comic way to us before, but it actually happens way more than you think. Now, whether or not someone's Q button actually breaks is subject to some fairly necessary chin-scratching doubt. Can I get a lull in the chat, please? But entire fights have been lost because a person with a pocket carry ult like a Graviton doesn't use it when they need to. Using a Grav early to prevent a team walking onto point and ulting your team is something you see pros do all the time. If you lose your Q button at the wrong time, no amount of spontaneous keyboard malfunction excuses will save you from your teammates' ire. I can't play healer. Well, now. This is my personal favourite. Picture the scene. You're at the hero select screen, and before you can even think about selecting a hero, all 5 of your teammates have made their choices. There's a Genji, a Widow, a Rhine, a D.Va, and a McCree. Oh, and by the way, it's King of the Hill on Oasis. Don't lie, we've all been there. Well, I guess I'm healing then. But it's King of the Hill. We'll need a Lucio, and with 2 tanks, probably an Ana as well. I know, I'll offer an olive branch. Hey, can one of you guys swap so we can have an Ana and a Lucio? The Genji, by some miracle, is actually in voice chat, and he says, nah bro, I can't play healer. Can't play healer? Who can't play Lucio? At least a little bit. Anyone can press E every 15 seconds. I'll decipher that code for you. That person doesn't want to play healer, and that's fine. I'm not saying people need to swap when it's asked of them, but saying you can't actually play a healer while selecting one of the most mechanically demanding heroes in the entire game isn't a good excuse. Healers are designed to be easier and play in a less confrontational style. Let's look at the difference between a bad Rhine and a bad Mercy. Rhine sets up the entire fight, and if he makes mistakes, the fight is lost. Whereas at many levels of play, as long as you have a healer, you simply will have a workable comp, so the idea that one couldn't learn to hide a little bit as Mercy or Lucio and stay alive to save the team doesn't really wash. We've all got roles we're not comfortable with, I totally get it. My Rhine might be the worst Rhine of all time. Actually, no, scratch that. It is the worst Rhine of all time. Holding a shield up and occasionally pressing forward mouse 1 is seemingly a bit beyond me. But Lucio? That's not beyond anyone, especially someone who picks a Shimada by default. I hope you enjoyed this semi-serious list. If you did, please don't forget to leave a rating. If you never want to miss one of our videos again, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button on our channel to join the notification squad. You'll be in good company. Please check out our Discord, where you can join one of the biggest Discord communities for Overwatch out there. If you want to see us tilt live for your enjoyment, please check out our Twitch channel, which we linked in the description. Also, please follow the Overwatch Twitter. It's where you can find updates about new videos and streams. I've been Eddie the Chump, and until next time.